everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Bottom Line. I'm your host, Lauren Kalil. Our show was brought to you by Whoop. Make sure to check out the description below to join our team or sign up to get a free strap and extra month's membership with our link. Whoop. Today we have Brian Friend and Patrick Clark here to talk about the Last Chance Qualifier programming. It just came out, a couple of workouts. It's good to see that we have a similar format that we had last year, but let's just take a look and we'll kind of go back and forth on first takes and what you guys think. So Brian, our first workout here, a couple windows from 0 to 2 minutes, 20 thrusters, and then max rep bar muscle ups in the remaining time. The weight is 125 for the ladies, 185 for the men, then rest from minute 2 to 4. And then it switches from minute 4 to 6, 20 bar muscle ups, and then max rep thrusters in the remaining time.
Yeah, so it's a short workout from a time domain perspective where you have only 4 minutes of work in a 6-minute window. The 20 and 20, the 20 thrusters that are highlighted bold and the 20 bar muscle ups are a buy-in. So you don't get credit for those towards your score. It's the bar muscle ups from the first 2-minute window plus the thrusters in the second minute window. And I think this is brilliant. I mean, the barbell is just heavy enough that it has it's going to impact the gymnastics in the first part. And then in the second part, after you've already come off the 20 bar muscle ups, having done that first window, that's where you're really going to see. I think you're going to see everything from guys that are able to still rip out big sets right at the end there to some athletes that'll have to just basically do squat clean thrusters because it'll be pushing the envelope towards the end of the workout. But a really good combination of challenging weight and rep scheme barbell cycle with a high level gymnastics skill that's tested under a little bit different format than we're used to. So I love this as an opening test, and I think that I actually think people will be surprised how well some of the athletes end up doing with this, because for someone like us, this is very daunting, and there'll be a few athletes here that I think really crush this workout.
Okay, so knowing who's going to be doing these workouts with the field of the athletes in Last Chance Qualifier, any predictions that either of you have on what types of scores we'll be seeing for this one?
You got to think if you can cycle the barbell well and breathe through it, the 20 thrusters, that can be done in reasonably in a minute for some of these athletes. So that leaves half the time to work. You probably have to take a breather, but I'm expecting some of the athletes will basically rip off a big set of bar muscle ups, 15-ish. Take a little rest, and then get as many as they can with one more set to finish it out. So I'm thinking that 20 to 25 bar muscle ups in that first window is doable. What I'm really curious to see is what the strategies are with the bar muscle ups in the second window. In particular, I'm reminded of the Lowlands Throwdown final, where they had 20 bar muscle ups in the middle of that workout leading into a set of 10 overhead squats. And some athletes chose to do those muscle ups unbroken. Some athletes chose to break them intentionally, and then to see what the payoff was on the barbell. I think that it might be a calculated strategy to take a break on those bar muscle ups, towards the middle, like with maybe 5 to 8 to go, hit another set and set yourself up for a good opening set with the thrusters. I don't think that people will get as many thrusters as they get bar muscle ups towards the counting score.
Yeah,
PC, what are some of your first thoughts on this workout?
Oh, well, heart rate. I mean, we talk about Whoop. I would love to see people's Whoop scores on this in terms of just even watching the data, because there's going to be a giant, those thrusters, boom, your heart rate's just going to just go out the roof. And then you have that, I think that 2-minute rest, that's going to, I don't know, we've all done intervals like this and stuff where you're like, oh, there's built-in rest, but then it's never enough. And then you go right back. Yeah. So your heart rate's going to go down, and then you go right back into 20 bar muscles, which is a little bit more controllable in terms of heart rate. Like Brian says, if they're smart, you do like a set of 12 and then finish up with 8, you drop down, and then you just go all out, and you hit that 220 heart rate, to finish off the whole 6 minutes. But yeah, I think it's controlling the heart rate on this. I love it too. Just like Brian says, a great opening workout. It's short. It's clever. I love these type of workouts.
Any athlete that goes unbroken on those 20 bar muscle ups?
I don't think it's the best play, but I'm sure someone will do it.
Yeah. I mean, I could see someone like Koski, I could see him going unbroken on that. But yeah, I don't think it's a smart play because it's not one on the bar muscles, it's one on the thrusters and how fast you can cycle those.
Okay, let's move to our second workout for the Last Chance Qualifier. Again, pretty fast, a 2,000-meter row, and then into a max distance handstand walk. And the remaining time for the women, they get a 9-minute time cap. The men, an 8-minute time cap. Oof.
Athletes' shoulders are going to be sore after those first two workouts. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, that 2,000-meter row is just a buy-in, just kind of like what we did with the thrusters and the muscle ups. But so it's basically a handstand walk workout. So we have a lot of accomplished handstand walkers in this field, but we also have a lot of accomplished rowers in this field, especially taller athletes. So I like this workout too. I think this is a really good test. It tests your aerobic capacity over, I guess, a medium distance, and then some gymnastics.
Brian, what are your thoughts?
I think that I think the time cap is really good here, and I think a lot of people who see this workout are going to say 8-minute. I can't even row 2,000 meters in 8 minutes. Patrick certainly can't.
I'm about 7:30. I have like 30 minutes to get like 5 feet.
30. But for this caliber of athletes, anything longer than this would have been too much and too heavy on the gymnastics. And people know when it comes to rowing, like 10 seconds, if getting off the rower 10 seconds early doesn't necessarily pay off all the time. So you really have to know what you're going to do on this workout. It is kind of nice because you're doing it on your own, so you're not being necessarily sucked into someone else's paces, looking left to right or seeing them come off in panic. So I think that for the athletes, it's really critical to have a plan and stick to your plan. And that means there's going to be a specific time that they want to come off that rower. And then I'm not 100% sure what the format is on the floor for, like, if they can only go 25 feet at a time or if they can, go a longer distance. But to be kind of intentional with the first set or two of the handstand walking, and then, push the limit up to the time cap. And you should basically be falling off your hands as the time is hitting 8 or 9 minutes.
How far do you think people are going to be able to handstand walk in that leftover time?
Well, I think someone like Katrin,
like 100 feet.
I think Katrin can do that. Someone like Katrin, who's really good on her hands, and she's a really good rower. I wouldn't be surprised. But you're not going to have that many.
Brian, what are you Googling over there?
I just wanted to see what the top times for the handstand sprint were in 2020. Where they were able to do 300 feet, and it seems like that took about 2 minutes or so.
Yeah.
For the men, it was 1:20.
Oh, wow.
So maybe not
and you can have people
more than 100 feet.
And you can have people who will have 1:20 to handstand walk, because some of the guys will finish this in around the 6. Well, I don't know if it's worth going like a 6:30, 6:40. They might be more like a 6:45, 6:55. So I think 150 to 200 feet might be the winner, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to our third workout for time 1 to 10 of clean and jerks at 155 for the ladies, 225 for the men, followed by shuttle runs again in 50-foot increments. The thing that sticks out to me here is the 20-minute time cap.
Well, the intention there is that they want everyone to finish this work, and that makes sense because because the bigger sets are at the end, and so if you're, struggling and get time capped, and you don't have to do those extra 10 clean and jerks at that weight, then that's a bonus in your favor, especially when you consider that you have 200 wall ball shots to come up in the next workout, and the shoulders will obviously be fatigued. So I think that they wanted everyone to finish this, which is the main intent with the time cap. As far as the workout goes, even though it looks like a couplet, and it looks like there are a lot of couplets here, this is, to me, is a weightlifting test. And, I think you can certainly screw it up by running too slow or too fast, but it's mostly just about keeping your breathing under control on the running. And then the people that move the barbell well, especially since it's 8, 9, 10 at the end, are the ones that will end up winning this workout.
Yeah, this workout's a trap. I mean, if you ever done a workout where it's, ascending like that, 1, 2, and 3, it's going to go by. You're going to finish those first 3 rounds. You're going to be looking at a clock. It's like, oh, I'm only 2 minutes in. I'm going to finish this in, in like 10 minutes. And then when you hit that 7, 8, 9, that's when that's when the workout really starts. So yeah, it's just controlling your heart rate on this one as well, especially in those shuttle runs. Like Brian says, you don't want to come out too fast or too slow. You just want to find that pace and then get to the bar and just play your game.
What do you think about the weight that was chosen? Is that a weight that at this stage in the game at this far, I mean, they're getting the people who want to qualify for the games. Is this an appropriate weight for a workout like this?
I would say so. You look at both of the they've chosen to have a barbell included in 2 of the 4 workouts, and they're moderately heavy barbells in both cases. And I think that is appropriate. I'm happy that we don't see a max test of strength this year, 3-rep max or whatever, and that instead it's being tested in this capacity. I think this is the type of strength athlete that you want to have at the games, where obviously they still have to be strong on the top end to move something like this well, but they also have that capacity to do it for reps, which will be tested frequently and often at the games.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, last but not least, we have workout number 4, 2 rounds for time, 50 burpee box jump overs, 75 double unders, and 100 wall ball shots, 20-inch box for the ladies, 24 for the men, 14-pound ball for the ladies, 20 for the men. But again, we are seeing that both genders have to go to the 10-foot target, a 20-minute time cap. Oh, this one looks gross.
It looks fun. It looks fun. This is my type of workout where I could just suffer. But yeah, this is another workout. When I saw this, like, oh, this is a Katrin type workout. 20 minutes of suffering. It's a simple triplet. Nothing really not a lot of the double unders aren't too much. That's really manageable. The wall ball shots, 100. I mean, it's a matter of what people are going to do. Are they going to try to go big sets on the wall ball shots or try to go unbroken? It'll be interesting, especially that first round. And we'll see what happens in the second round.
Brian, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think I'm curious. I'm curious to know if there were other formats of it that they tested. Like, to me, just thinking about the relative time domain to do a 75 double unders twice is very small compared to what's going to be required for the other 2 parts of the workout. And just looking at the rep scheme, if you had 50, 100, 200 double unders, which were a total of 400 double unders, and doing those double unders after pressing off the ground with the burpees over and over and throwing up, the shoulders can definitely fatigue. And now you're really testing something that all these athletes are super proficient at, the double under, in a pretty demanding setting, especially what would have been that last set at 200. So I wonder if there were other iterations of this that maybe they tested, and maybe there's, having not done the workout, maybe there's something that the programmers know about how those double unders affect the wall balls, and they intentionally chose a little bit of a smaller capacity because it is maybe more devastating than we thought. But overall, very tough test. Like PC said, this can be a suffering. How bad do you want it? And when it's the last workout and you know how close you are, there's going to be athletes that are going to have to go to that dark place on that last set of wall balls, and it's not going to be fun. But if you want to get to the games, you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a workout in this group of 4 that either of you think is like going to be the make or break for athletes? Similar to, obviously, if we had like a 1 RM, like, that some people are going to rise to the top and others just aren't going to hang.
I think that the critical workout in that regard is the rowing handstand walk, because you can screw it up. And if you go too fast, you're not going to be in control on the handstand walk, and if you go too slow, you won't have enough time to get the distance that's required. So I think from an execution standpoint, that's the one that you really got to hone in on, understanding your capacity, execute your game plan, and hopefully don't give away too much there. The other ones, I think people are just going to be more limited by, their strength in 2 of them, which is okay. I like that people will be limited in strength in this way. And, the last one's just a matter of desire. And of course, we always want to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say that first one. I mean, you got to set the tone. You don't want to start off, you make an error on, on the muscle ups, and it's something that could haunt you the rest of you can't afford to have a bad finish in any of these. It's only 4 workouts. And there's a lot of pushing in these 4 workouts, a lot of pushing. So yeah, I have to say, you have to set the tone that first workout. If you're struggling, with that first workout, it's mentally it's gonna haunt you throughout the way. I mean, throughout the rest of the competition. I mean, like I said, it's only 4 events, but I don't disagree with what Brian said either, because that rowing, that probably takes a little bit more game planning than some of the other ones, especially that last one. That last one's just, like Brian said, you just, who wants it the most, and who holds on, who does the most wall balls, and who can hold on the most for the longest on that one.
Brian, what's your bottom line with the programming?
I think my bottom line is that I'm pretty happy with it, especially when stacked up against what we saw last year, the Last Chance Qualifier, which had 2 single modality tests. I don't know that this is the format to necessarily test those things, so I'm pretty happy with the diversity of the tests, the way that strength is being tested, and I think that we're very likely to get 2 games worthy athletes out of this programming.
PC, what's your bottom line?
Bottom line, same thing. I'm very happy about these 4 tests, and it's going to have the right 4 people going to Madison based on these 4 tests we have. So, yeah, let's do it.
PC, Brian, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Lauren.